Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again today with another video. I wanted to real quick talk about the Drew Holiday extension that just happened. Drew Holiday getting 4 years, $160 million from the Milwaukee Bucks. This does seem like a lot of money for a Drew Holiday type guy, but I'm going to kind of talk about why I think it's a good deal for not just Drew Holiday, of course, making $40 million a year playing basketball, but for the Milwaukee Bucks as well, how this kind of indicates the direction for the future and what it means for the NBA and the Eastern Conference. So go ahead, drop a like, drop a subscribe if you like NBA content like this pretty much every single day, if not twice a day, if not sometimes more, depending if a lot of stuff happens, post game recap, stuff like that. So let me know if you want more stuff like this. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm just going to quickly talk about how Drew Holiday's played this season. He's been the Bucks' second best player. I know Chris Middleton has long been thought of as their second best player, and Chris Middleton's still been good this season, but Drew Holiday's been incredible, continues to earn that reputation of being one of, if not the best, perimeter defenders in the entire NBA. And when you play in an Eastern Conference that has a lot of really good guards, it's important to have a guy like Drew Holiday, especially when your main competition is a guy like a James Harden or a Kyrie Irving on the Brooklyn Nets. When you have those two guys, you need someone who's able to kind of lock those guys down, and Drew Holiday does have the potential to do so. He is really good on the defensive end of the ball, and there's not many better players you're going to get to try and deal with that threat. And so I think it was a great decision by the Milwaukee Bucks to extend Drew Holiday. Obviously, $40 million is a lot of money, and when you think of Drew Holiday, you probably don't think of him getting a near supermax or getting the max contract of what he could get with $40 million, especially since he's going to be 34 or 35 years old when that contract expires, which is pretty old. But the thing is, you have to maximize your championship window if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis just agreed to a 5-year extension. You have 5 years to get Giannis a championship before he considers leaving again. You have him locked up for now, and so you have to make decisions in order to win that championship with Giannis. You have to make decisions that are going to benefit your team. And signing Drew Holiday, while that puts them in salary cap hell, you have to make that decision. Because ultimately, with the Giannis's contract on the books, with Chris Middleton's contract on the books, and now Drew Holiday's contract on the books, but even before Drew Holiday was on the books, you're capped to hell. There's no way you're bringing in a max free agent or someone better than Drew Holiday with the amount of money that you are going to have in future free agencies without Drew Holiday. Additionally, you just gave up the entire next 4 years of your draft for Drew Holiday in the offseason to bring him in after the Bogdanovich trade failed. You failed to make that happen, so you had to fully commit to Drew Holiday, and ended up being a pretty good decision, it looks like, because he's been really, really good. And so you can't let him walk in the offseason. If I remember correctly, he's a free agent this upcoming offseason, and if Drew Holiday walked, that would be one of the worst trades in Bucks franchise history, if not the worst, giving up all your future assets for 1 year of Drew Holiday. Even if you won a championship, it would still probably be a disappointment. So you have to commit to bringing Drew Holiday back, and they did that. It was the same thing that I talked about with the Rudy Gobert extension. I thought that was a good extension. Even if you think Rudy Gobert is overpaid, and he might have been, he is so integral to his team, and his team isn't going to end up getting anyone better than him. So you have to fully commit. You have to show these players, we are committed. We want you to be a part of the championship team that we are trying to create here in Milwaukee. And I think they did a great job of fostering that kind of culture. There have been a ton of guys. Drew Holiday himself came out and talked about how he has quickly fallen in love with Milwaukee, the team, the culture, his teammates, everything about Milwaukee. He's enjoying it. He loves being there. And so it makes sense that he would want to sign that contract, especially because he's not going to get a bigger contract than that. There's no way Drew Holiday is going to get $40 million from some other team in the offseason. The only way he was going to get that is for a team that understands what he brings to the team and has already integrated him as part of their system and is ready to commit to winning a championship now. Now, is this Bucks team able to win a championship this year? Yes, I think they are. And you might not like that answer because it's like Sixers, Nets, and then Bucks are kind of like that third team in a lot of people's eyes. But the Bucks are capable of winning a championship. Last year's Bucks team was capable of winning a championship, and I would argue this season they got better. Even though their record isn't better, they are improved. And I think that's also similar to a situation with the Los Angeles Clippers, who have had some ups and downs due to injuries and stuff like that. But I think this Bucks team is improved, mainly because their biggest problem last season was perimeter defense. They were getting torched on the outside by the Miami Heat in that second round series that ultimately they lost and got knocked out way earlier than they hoped to. And they brought in a guy, Drew Holiday, who is one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league. And by bringing that in, that takes away a huge problem. They focus more on stopping the perimeter, even though that is still a problem of theirs a lot of the time. They're focused more in on that end. They brought in a guy like PJ Tucker to hopefully help them with that perimeter defense as well. A good perimeter defender as well as a post defender, just all around a good defender who's going to knock down a three-point shot. You still have Giannis, who is playing incredibly well this season, just as well, if not better than last season. You have Chris Middleton still playing really well. His numbers are down because of the Jrue Holiday addition. He has taken a little bit away from those numbers, but he's still playing really, really good basketball. Brook Lopez, still a solid player, even if he's not as good as he was a couple years ago. Still a solid player. Dante DiVincenzo has been playing better. So I like this Bucks team better than last season's. And I think that when you make changes for the best, you have to fully commit to them. In the NBA, if you kind of like go half in on something, it's never going to work out. You can't go half in on a contending team. You saw, I'm going to talk about the Thunder again. I talk about the Thunder in every single video. The Thunder did not go fully in on the James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook thing. They didn't. And I know a lot of people blame Sam Presti for that, but ultimately it wasn't Sam Presti's fault. It was because our team ownership was not willing to pay the luxury tax needed to keep James Harden for a long-term extension. They weren't willing to pay him that money, and so he had to get traded to bring in Kendrick Perkins. We did not fully commit. And ultimately, it probably cost us a championship, if not 2, if not 3, if not more. And so, you can't go half in. You have to go all in on your teams. When you have a chance to win a championship in the NBA, it's very rare, especially for a team like Milwaukee. Right now, they have a generational superstar talent. When his career is over, Giannis is going to go down as one of the greatest players of all time. And when you have that opportunity, you have to capitalize. Because if you don't win a championship while Giannis is here for the next 4 seasons, he could leave and his whole career with you was wasted. And you can't be having that happen. You have to fully commit. And trading for Jrue Holiday, great move. Great move in the end. I was the guy who thought they should bring in Chris Paul. I thought they should go all in and bringing in Chris Paul. They didn't end up doing that. They brought in Jrue Holiday, who's still a really good fit for this team, and I think that was an incredible move to make. Even though you have to give up a ton of assets, it's what you have to do. We saw that with the Los Angeles Lakers. They had LeBron James. They decided that we have this all-time great player. We want to win a championship now, and they traded for Anthony Davis. Did they give up a ton? Yes. Lonzo, Ingram, tons of picks, Josh Hart. They gave up a lot. But they won a championship, so it does not matter. If this Bucks team can win at least one championship with Jrue Holiday, and especially now that he's extended, they have an opportunity to expand on that, even if they do win just one championship. If they win a championship, it was all worth it. And in the end, that's the goal. So when you make these moves, you have to remember a player isn't always paid based on what they're worth out on the market. A player is paid based on what they're worth to their team. And Jrue Holiday is a super integral part to this Bucks team. Their second most important player, in my opinion. He's quickly overtaking Chris Middleton in that role. Chris Middleton is still very, very good, but I think Jrue Holiday at this point is probably their second most important player. And you, in the NBA, if you are a contender, you pay your second most important player $40 million. You do that. You have to. Especially when your first best player is Giannis. Jrue Holiday fits very well next to him. He fits well with the team. His value to this team is insane, especially when you consider his value to keeping Giannis happy, which is ultimately the goal. You managed to bring in Jrue Holiday. Giannis signed that extension. Now he's happy. You got to keep him that way before he goes in the next couple seasons and requests a trade. So that's my take on the Jrue Holiday extension. I think it was a great move for both sides. Like I said, Jrue Holiday is not going to get more money than $40 million, and the Bucks knew that. So offering that extension guarantees that Jrue Holiday is going to stay in Milwaukee through the next 4 seasons. This now locks up Giannis, Middleton, and Jrue through 2024, guaranteeing that this team will be a contender through 2024. And they maximize their championship contending window. That's exactly what you have to do as a franchise. Shout out to the Bucks general manager, John Horst, I believe his name is. Shout out to the whole Bucks front office for making this decision. Shout out to Bucks ownership for being willing to pay this luxury tax, pay the amount of money that they're going to have to pay to these 3 players. This is like it's like 90% of their cap space in 3 guys. It might cost you a guy like a Dante DiVincenzo if he wants a ton of money down the line. You have to commit to what you have to do now. It's the price of trying to be a contender. Sometimes you lose guys you don't want to lose, but if you can bring in 3 star players, that's what you do. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say about this extension. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you think the Bucks are contenders. They've been playing really, really well recently. And just overall, since the All-Star break, they feel like they're finally getting like things together more so. Jrue Holiday missed a ton of time this season. Giannis has tried to carry the load a little bit, but Jrue Holiday is really stepping up and helping him out. Chris Middleton's been playing well. and this team feels like it's finally clicking. They're right behind the Sixers and the Nets, and I think they have a shot of winning the East. So let me know if you agree with that take. I will see you guys later. Everyone say bye.